to dream, a vision behind closed eyes. Feel the darkness and succumb to the shadows. Nightmares scream, the never-ending wander into other realms. To run, do you run? Should you? A pill to take it all away. This is coma. This is the other side. Hold a mirror to reality, and what do you see? Alone. Stand alone in this place. The snow falls like ash, blackened, like darkened souls falling uniquely to their forgotten graves. A whisper of truth hiding behind the surface, unscratched or marred. This is death. We are the forgotten. They speak the sorrows of man, the girl says, her arms curled like ghosts. I watch over all you see, the falling tears of souls locked in their silent despair. And what is expected? In a world of man, what can you do but rot? How many beginnings must I make to claim ownership of this body, this perception? No Botox mother told me I need a wardrobe, backed into a closet for each outfit that I need to pull out on command from outside and within. So many costumes I've worn to role-play characters I've needed to be in order to survive. To just exist at being myself, in myself, within a community that when I was ready to be, told me that I was now too old, and myself became prefixed with, you looked better. When I was younger, I was only 30. Consign the twink to the coffin. I did that year to my best friend. I put her in a coffin. So I faded anyway. So who cares? In my 20s, I spent my 20s constantly beginning. So much dependence on relationships that the decade was lost in a quest for love, as much as the next would be in trying to bury it. A series of sitcoms my telenovela crossed into. However, I learnt one thing in the taillights. The prefixes others put on your past, own them. Each beginning is just an extension, a continuation. I'm going in one direction, the same as everyone else. My boyfriend bought new glasses. They make him look like Jeffrey Dahmer. Well, if Jeff was bold and French. I face swapped him with Jeffrey's mugshot. It aligned so well with him that I felt I'd been given a glimpse into the multiverse dreamed up by Dennis Cooper and I of it's me and his Jeffrey sitting in a tree, K.I. My boyfriend's too nice to be Jeff. Me on the other, H-A-N-D. I had a pair of Dahmer glasses when I was a preteen. They did not make me look hot. On a prepubescent round head, they took all the space. A monster mask for a little monster with an angelic face. By the time I'd reached the age of 11, I'd started fires in 2 churches, attempted to poison my brother once, and in my dreams I'd K-I-L-L-E-D. There's something about the look in the eyes as you choke them. A lost, panicked betrayal. punctuated by the feel of their throat trying to swallow against the curve of your hand. God's palms on his clay models, crush back into shapeless non-existence, or release, allow the air of life to enter. The look is always the same, not specifically human. I've been God to many, Kitteens. But there is one neck I want to hold, caress with the intimacy of a noose, complete what my childhood self failed to do, save multiple versions of me, parallels of pain. In another verse, that me is in the tree with Jeff. We had just cut up the brother, sliced off his cock whilst inside my ass, shoved it up his own as his balls came a puddle of worthless semen on the wreck of a wasted M.A. My brother had a pair of Dahmer glasses. On him, it made sense in hindsight. I slapped him so hard one time, those moon goggles orbited his head, landing back on his nose, screw width. A bit how I'd feel after he touched me. I face swapped him with Gary Glitter. His caller ID on my phone is a photo of Savile. Homeless man found hogtied, dead in a tent, his own penis up his ass, testicles in his M-O-U-T-H. Oh, Jeffrey, what are we like? Up this tree, K.I. Greetings, O evening. This day has but succumbed to the realities of existence. What evil hours spent throughout this day, its perils locked in mind. When spirit lost in morbid wane and fear of time approaching, a voyage began across the breach of what is here and ether. A soul did search, a soul did ponder, a soulful quest without answer. Play the fiddle through this life, this splendor of a fool's endeavor. Be silent, good fellow, and don't stop to ponder, for there is no point upon which to base a reason or an anchor. Dream that sleep shall fall and rid you of your demons. Hope darkness comes only in the night and not at every corner. Pray in vain upon the palm bejeweled with pocket rosary, that for at least this night be protected from your nightmares. The first line, like the first glance, always an unknown. So many abandoned, left empty, saved from the mess I would create. Let that one live unchallenged by my fate. With so many side smiles I decide futures, to rest with the sighs of the past. I had been broken and rebuilt many times, my form so unrecognizable from birth, that what do they see anyway? A calcified pupa that failed to grow. It ended with her, and it started with her too. Tied to her by a chain of trauma from a childhood learning my place as the root of all wrong, by a brother so badly in there, to adults blaming me as an adult for their wrongs to absolve themselves. So now when I see her face, turn to look towards the cacophony of my monotony, I am scared for her and for myself. The first glance, I know how it ends for her. I know how it ends for me. I know how it ends in every detail, like the lyrics to a teenage song that has soundtracked every pain since it struck a chord somewhere deep inside, and echoed around a chamber that already sat cavernously empty and unattended. Language gave a means of communication, but it has never been about words. Words are just a gateway, a key. It's connection, reconnection. That's what I desire to achieve, to reconnect to the movement of the ocean, reel in, raise the anchor from the depths, free this vessel from the same repetitive tides that have rocked and battered its sides. Maybe there is a message hidden in here, a cataclysm, forbidden knowledge the waters of life have tried to shatter, to destroy what is inside the bottle. To save what? Continuity, narrative, secrets. So many things left unsaid, in silence, held inside dusty corners. Vacant spaces like lonely eyes blink and breathe, expand and contract, rise and fall. The cycles of motions completed without thought, repetitive, repeated patterns, habitual. All this I have learnt, and the synchronicity of life weaves veins of mishap between the skin that channels the sorrow of childhood to the lake that continues to fill infinite depths, insatiable, ferocious. These tears are the same ones, recycled in perpetual motion, a waterfall. My body an Escher engine of the impossible, regurgitating the same emotions, expelling them unnamed, uncomprehended and raw. An unprocessed toxic sludge that coats the skin, hardens, and is then reabsorbed, vintaged. The taster bottle for each year, each bitterer, not just in taste, but in body, soul. A full experience to explain what I cannot name, what I choke to say. Water is meant to be healing, healthy. Its flow and surrender is influence to our souls. But this river has been dammed up. Its arteries clogged with so much silt that the mouth has become choked. A lake of damnation formed and stagnated. A cesspool of self-recrimination and doubt, fed by people who should have known better, should have done better, but didn't, because they wanted to look better than I, better than the failure. All these obstacles I have tried to face, blockages that although painted different, speak from the same root, a rotted core, a charred belief branded on the child who retreated from one world to create another. I was a porous sponge, and now I am still wool. In order to repair and clean, abrasion is needed to scrape away, years of paint layered like rings of a tree, a body of armor grown to size, weak as tin. I am an alloy of what I needed to survive. All the poisons I have inhaled, swallowed, injected, the shards of one existence I have crushed down, lined up with the credit card of the next, rolled all the receipts and sucked through a nostril. My past paying for my future with ashes. The first line always leading to the last, whilst habit has another ready to cut. There's always another pipe to smoke, make, bag of brown to tear open until you stop. Reconnect to the sound of what? I don't know the name for it yet. nor the words of the language to express. Grief is just one part, a wet part that washes. It floods and pulls you under. I have not drowned, although I'm still under the surface waiting, holding on to that final gasped breath, trying to will myself into non-existence to make one wish come true.